I've just finished work.
Chuck, good job today. You're having dinner at home, right?
Yeah, I wasn't invited out for drinks today, so I'll head straight home.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, there's something I need you to do for me.
What's up?
Have you ever talked to my boss's kids? They go to the same kindergarten as Bri.
Yeah. Bree's in a different class, so I haven't really talked to the moms. But I know that the section chief's younger son is in the tulip class, and the assistant manager's daughter is in the dandelion class, right?
That's right. So you know how there's going to be a school play at the kindergarten, right?
Yeah, I know about that.
Well, I've already agreed to have you make the costumes for their kids who are in the play.
Huh?
The section chief's son is playing the role of Lincoln, and the assistant manager's daughter is playing a general. Both are major roles, so apparently the costumes are quite complicated and require a lot of work.
Hold on a second.
Huh?
Bree might not be the lead, but she's playing a soldier of the South, and I'm already working on her costume. Adding 2 more costumes for the lead roles, there's clearly not enough time. It's just impossible, no matter how you look at it.
No, that's not true. You went to a sewing school, didn't ya? Stop acting like you're hesitating. Making costumes for a kindergarten play should be a piece of cake for ya.
I'm telling you, it's not going to be a piece of cake. That's why I'm saying it's impossible. And what's with deciding this without even consulting me? I'm running a sewing business here, you know. Technically, I should be charging for this service.
Come on, don't be like that. The payment is a priceless increase in my reputation from my boss.
What?
If we get this right, there's no doubt that my stock will rise. As a professional in sewing, I'm counting on you to do this right without cutting any corners.
No way.
Huh?
Why should I have to do this? Usually it's the parents who make the costumes for their own kids. Unless there's some special reason, I wouldn't take on this kind of task.
What are you talking about? You made the costumes for Sammy at your sister's place, didn't you, a couple of years ago?
That's exactly the special reason I'm talking about. It was when my sister broke her arm and my brother-in-law was on a long overseas business trip. That's why I had no choice but to take it on.
So this time it's pretty much the same, right? Apparently the section chief's wife and the assistant manager's wife aren't very good at sewing. And recently they've been saying things like, "This is so difficult, what should I do?"
And?
Huh?
I'm pretty sure that for costumes that are difficult to make, it was fine to just modify ready-made clothes. And the kindergarten didn't require everything to be handmade.
No, the reality is they're stuck and don't know what to do. That basically means they can't sew, right? In that case, it's just like when my sister couldn't make the costumes because of her broken arm.
What are you even saying? That's totally different. My sister isn't good at sewing, but she managed to do some on her own, even with a broken arm. But the wives of your bosses aren't in some situation where they can't even start making the costumes, right?
Exactly, the fact that they can't sew is the situation I'm talking about.
Are you even listening to me? Did you seriously decide to just dump this on me without even asking? Just because I'm your wife and we're both moms at the same kindergarten, it's honestly not okay for you to just throw this at someone you've never even talked to before.
Hey, what's with that attitude? The person in question is the wife of my boss. That's disrespectful. Think about your position before you say anything.
I'm just sharing my thoughts from a mother's perspective.
I have a position at the company too. Once I take something on, it's only right to see it through to the end as a matter of integrity.
Then why don't you just do it yourself?
What?
You're the one who agreed to this, not me.
In that case, I won't be coming home tonight.
Huh?
I'm not coming home until you reflect on what you've done and say, "I was wrong." I'd be happy to make the costumes. You'll have to kneel down and apologize.
Oh, really? Then I don't have to prepare dinner for you tonight.
What?
I'm busy right now taking care of Bree until she falls asleep, so you can just take care of your own dinner tonight.
Honestly, I'll give you some time to cool off and think about what you've done.
I can't believe this. I work hard every day, and now I'm being asked to take on someone else's responsibilities because of some random request that wasn't even discussed with me? I am tired, Chuck. I just want to rest and not have to deal with something so ridiculous. And on top of that, you're telling me it's for your reputation at work? I didn't sign up for this. This isn't part of the deal. Chuck, you always think everything can be solved by just doing it, but I am not just some puppet who can be controlled. I have my own work, my own time, and my own responsibilities. I'm not here to play the role of your personal costume maker. You don't even seem to understand how hard it is to juggle everything and still do something for someone else without a second thought. You're asking me to take on more without even asking if I'm okay with it. It's exhausting just thinking about it.
Hey, have you had enough time to reflect on your actions yet?
What are you talking about?
I figured Bri must have gone to bed by now, so I thought you would have had time to sit down and really think about what's been going on. After all, you had some time while things were quiet, right?
If this is about the costumes, I've already made it clear. I'm not making them.
You're still going on about that?
Well, yes, because it's already been decided. I am not going to make them.
Decided?
Yes. And after everything that happened, I went ahead and consulted with the kindergarten teachers. They took care of informing your superiors about the change.
Wait, what?
I spoke with the wives of your superiors, and after discussing things with them, we decided that it's better if I don't take on making the costumes.
What is this? Why are you making decisions on your own without even discussing it with me?
Before you go blaming me, I think you should have actually listened to what your superiors had to say before making up your mind about everything.
Huh?
It turns out the wives of your superiors weren't saying it was too hard to do. When they mentioned how challenging it was, they were actually saying it's difficult, but it's a challenge they were willing to take on. They were just figuring out how to approach it.
What?
Apparently, while the two wives were chatting over tea, they discussed the costumes. When your boss and the other manager were talking about it on their way home, you interrupted them without realizing they had already been discussing the issue. You went on about how I'm a professional, that I went to fashion school, and how it was a good idea to just give the task to me, saying I'd handle it. Then, when they tried to correct you, you kept brushing them off, saying things like, "It's fine," and "Don't worry about it," and left quickly. Is that what happened?
Wait, what?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. You just barged in and didn't listen to their side of things. When they realized you had misunderstood the situation, they tried to explain it to you, but you just kept interrupting and reassuring them that it would be fine. You didn't even give them a chance to correct you before leaving.
Oh, really?
Yes, and here's the kicker. They actually planned to contact me themselves about it because they felt they needed to clarify things. But then the kindergarten called me because they heard I wanted to discuss it, so we got in touch.
Are you serious?
Yes, they were already planning to reach out to me. And then, since they had heard I wanted to talk to them, I ended up calling them. I had to apologize on behalf of my husband for him jumping the gun and not understanding the situation properly. I told your superiors I was sorry for the confusion.
Wait, what?
Yes, and not only did I apologize on your behalf, but they also apologized to me, saying they were sorry they couldn't stop you from rushing into things.
Wait, they apologized to you?
Yes, they did. And on top of that, they said something else. They mentioned that you have a tendency to act impulsively without listening to the people around you, and that it's becoming a problem. Apparently, you've been reprimanded for it before. They even expressed concern that your impulsive behavior could lead to you making a major mistake at work. They're genuinely worried about the impact it could have on your career.
Are you serious?
Yes, I had no idea either. I never realized that your tendency to act without thinking was causing such a big issue at work. I honestly feel bad for you, but at the same time, this needs to be addressed before it gets out of hand. You need to start paying attention to how you approach things, or it's going to continue causing problems.
I didn't mean for it to get this bad.
I know you didn't mean for things to get out of hand, but unfortunately, that's exactly why it's so problematic. When you act impulsively, it often makes the situation worse, even when that's the last thing you intend to do.
I don't think it's that bad.
But it is that bad. Look at what just happened with this whole costume debacle. You misinterpreted everything, acting on your own assumptions, and caused a big mess without taking the time to listen or consider anyone else's perspective.
Oh, I see.
And what's worse is that you wasted everyone's time, including mine. We could have avoided all of this if you had just communicated with the right people and listened to their input. But instead, you pushed ahead without thinking it through.
I didn't mean to waste anyone's time.
I know, but that's the consequence of acting on impulse. Now you've put us all in an awkward position, and we're going to have to undo the mess you've created.
So what should I do now?
Well, first things first, you need to apologize to both your boss and the other manager tomorrow. They need to hear it from you that you realize your mistake and that you understand the consequences of rushing into things like this.
And after that?
You also need to take a hard look at how you act in the future. You can't keep rushing into situations without considering what others are thinking. You've got to stop acting impulsively, or else you're going to keep sabotaging your own success.
So, I have to apologize for everything?
Yes, and don't just say a quick sorry and move on. You need to really explain to them that you understand the problem and that you're committed to doing better. If you don't show them that you've learned from this, nothing will change.
I see. I really messed up, didn't I?
Yes, you did, but that doesn't mean you can't fix it. You just need to stop acting impulsively and learn to think before you act. If you do that, you can avoid making this kind of mistake again.
Okay, I understand now. I'll make sure to apologize properly tomorrow. I don't want this to happen again.
Good. Well, I'm glad you understand. Now you really need to make sure you work on this behavior. Otherwise, it's going to keep causing issues for you and everyone else around you. The next day, my husband seemed to have been thoroughly reprimanded by his two bosses. When he returned home, he immediately dropped to his knees and apologized to me. His expression was filled with genuine remorse, and his deep brow reflected just how much he understood the gravity of the situation. It wasn't just the standard apology one might expect. There was real humility in the way he approached me. He had clearly been given quite a talking to at work. The way his bosses had reacted was serious, and I could tell he wasn't just apologizing to fulfill some obligation, but because he truly recognized the mistake he had made. When I went to pick up our children from the kindergarten later that day, I had the chance to meet with the other wives, as they were there too. After a few moments of small talk, I apologized to them for the incident that had occurred, acknowledging how uncomfortable it must have made everyone. I explained that it wasn't something I had expected to happen, and I genuinely felt sorry for the disruption it had caused. It was important to me that they knew I took full responsibility for the situation, and that I wanted to maintain a good relationship with all of them, especially since we were going to be seeing each other regularly from then on. It wasn't just about being polite, it was about ensuring that any tension or awkwardness was addressed, so everyone could move forward. The whole incident actually turned out to be a turning point for me. While the situation had started out as uncomfortable, it ended up bringing the wives closer together. It became a kind of bridge that allowed me to interact with them more, and before long, I had formed a friendship with both of them. They were both very approachable and warm-hearted women, which made the transition from awkward strangers to genuine friends much easier. There was absolutely no sense of distance between us, no feeling that I was only being included because I was the wife of their husband's subordinate. They treated me like an equal from the very start, and I greatly appreciated that. We started spending more time together, chatting about everything from family matters to personal interests. It was nice to be able to socialize with them without any underlying tension or discomfort. One of the women, the wife of the section chief, was particularly easy to talk to. It turned out that she worked in a neighboring department as a part-time employee, which was an interesting bit of information I wouldn't have known otherwise. As we talked, I realized how much we had in common. Despite the different roles we had in the workplace, it was funny because while we were discussing our husband's work and how their respective departments were structured, I began to get a clear picture of what went on at my husband's workplace. Thanks to our new friendship, I found myself learning more and more about the environment he worked in, and even the things he didn't share with me at home became clear. The more we spent time together, the more I realized how much I appreciated their honesty and openness. I wasn't expecting them to divulge confidential details or insider information, but the little glimpses into their lives and the workplace dynamics helped me understand my husband's challenges a bit more. It also made me more aware of the pressure he was under, and how some of his behaviors, while not excusable, were perhaps a result of that stress. As for the section chief's wife, she was always so positive and kind. We started to exchange advice on different matters, and she shared her experience of balancing work and family life. I was impressed by how much she managed to juggle, and it inspired me to reconsider my own approach to handling responsibilities at home and work. We would often joke about how, despite having full-time jobs, our husbands seemed to take longer to get their acts together than we did. But it was all in good fun, and it made me feel better to know that other women were going through similar experiences. Thanks to these interactions, I ended up learning quite a bit about my husband's work life. I found out about the small yet significant challenges he was facing daily, things that had been hidden from me before. Of course, I didn't directly ask for these details, but little by little the information came to me. I could see how it affected him, and it helped me understand his behavior better, especially in terms of how he reacted to stress. This new understanding also led to a deeper conversation between my husband and me. It wasn't long before we had what I'd call a couples reflection meeting, where we took time to discuss the issues that had arisen and to reflect on what we could both do better. I think my husband found it to be a useful exercise, as it gave him the chance to evaluate where he had gone wrong and to think about how he could improve. During our conversation, he admitted that he had neglected to prioritize certain things at work, which led to the tension that had spilled over into our personal lives. He was grateful for the opportunity to discuss these things openly and for me to not judge him too harshly. It was a positive step in our relationship, allowing both of us to see the other's perspective. Since then, my husband has taken steps to improve himself professionally. He's made a concerted effort to focus more on his work and has been achieving much better results. I've noticed a change in him. He seems more focused and driven, and he no longer lets minor issues distract him as easily. He has begun to take more initiative at his projects, and I can tell that his bosses have already noticed the shift in his attitude. It's not that everything is perfect now, but there's been a noticeable improvement, and I'm proud of the progress he's made. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.